Hey, welcome back to Yoga with Tim. Today we're back to our practice. It's day one of your second week. Congratulations for sticking with the challenge. Hey, I just want to let you know about a yoga retreat that I'm teaching March 17th through the 23rd in Bali. It's 7 nights in Bali, and it's going to be an epic trip. Bali is my favorite place to go for retreats. So if you want some more information, go to my website, yogawithtim.com, and sign up for the retreat information. I'll make sure to send you everything over. I hope you could join. Okay, so today we're going to get started in child's pose. So for today's practice, I have a couple of blocks. If you don't have blocks at home, then you can use books or whatever. Somebody doing the challenge sent me a picture of their setup, how they have like books stacked next to their mat. I really like that. That was cool. If you want to tag any of your posts on Instagram, I've been checking them out. We have a hashtag. Let's see if I can remember. Yoga, it's YWT Mind, Body, Spirit. So post on there if you want to share some pictures of your practice or pictures of your pets or something, whatever you want to do on there. Okay, so in child's pose, have your big toes together. Have your knees just wide enough for your ribs to fit in between. Not any wider, not any narrow. So you can just let the ribs nestle there. And then let your breath start to move into your back body to open up your back ribs and your lower back. Now start to energize your arms. Reach through your arms, press down through your hands, and straighten out your elbows. Make sure that the reach of your arms doesn't tense up your neck. Let the neck be free as you stretch your arms. Then come up onto your hands and your knees. Curl your toes under and stretch back to down dog. Bend the knees as much as you need to help to lengthen the back. So we've been learning that we don't need to really try to like jam after hamstring length until everything starts to open up, like we practiced in restorative day yesterday. Set your knees down and stretch back to child's pose. Just take a few breaths there. Come back up onto your hands and your knees and stretch back into down dog. Today we're going to be exploring the movement of a leg going behind us and how that affects our core. Set your knees down onto the mat. Slide your hands under your shoulders. Cat-cow for 3 rounds. As you inhale, arch your back, tip the sit bones up, wheel your chest forward. And as you exhale, round your back, draw navel up to spine. Look back at your navel. Inhale. And exhale. Go one more time. Keep flowing with your breath. Then come into neutral with your spine. Have your knees right underneath your hips. Now imagine that I put a block right here on your sacrum lower back. As you go to reach your right leg back behind you, so go ahead and stretch the leg back, but just slide the toe back along the floor. Now when that toe slides back, your hips shouldn't move at all. You should be able to keep your pelvis level. I could even like put a cup of coffee on top of the block on your sacrum, it wouldn't spill. So keep that feeling now. Feel the sides of the lower back lengthen instead of tuck up. Just let them lengthen. And then see if you can hold that lower back long as you raise your back leg up 1 inch. Real basic, but pretty darn challenging. Then lower the knee and stretch the left leg back, slide it back along the floor without the pelvis twisting. Lift your leg just 1 inch. Hold there. Collarbones broad. Set that leg down. Stretch the right leg back and let it lift up 1 inch and send your left arm forward. Good. Lower your hand and your knee. Inhale, change sides. Keep that lower back long. Teach it to stay long. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, change sides. Exhale, lower down. Stretch back to down dog. Inhale, shift forward into plank. Align your shoulders right over top of your wrists. Lengthen, reach back through your heels. Reach your upper chest forward and spread across your collarbones. Stretch back to downward dog. Again, inhale, glide forward into plank. Pause there, shoulders right over the wrists. Now this one, raise your right leg just 1 inch without your hips twisting. Change sides, lift your left leg up just 1 inch without the hips twisting. Keep that lower back long through both sides. Set that foot down, stretch back to down dog. Then inhale into plank. Set your knees down. And let's practice our chaturanga 5 times with the collarbones broad. Shift forward and lower slowly to elbow height. Try not to let your shoulders round up into your ears. Keep the blades on the back and then lift right back up. Good. Again, slowly lower. Chaturanga Dandasana practice. Keep the whole spine long. Come back up. 3 more times. Lower slowly. The elbows bend straight back. Shoulder blades, collarbones broad. Last 2. Good. Keep going. Stay with it. Last 1. Good. Back up. And then lie down onto your belly. Great job. All right, then slide your hands back behind you. And turn the thumbs out. Press your hands down into the floor. And then lift your shoulders, head, chest up off the mat. So wake up all these muscles on your back. Turn the blades onto the back. And feel the more that those back muscles wake up, the more your chest can spread. When you live with the upper back dull, the chest just caves. So as we start to strengthen those muscles in yoga, it will help with your posture. You don't have to think about it. You'll start to naturally stand with better posture. Roll the outer thighs down towards the floor so the inner thighs spin up and lengthen through your toes. Then raise that right leg up just 1 inch. But you'll feel that the side of the back wants to get short as you do that. Keep lengthening it. Change legs. Raise your left leg up just 1 inch. Oh, sometimes you get a cramp. So you just, take a break when you need to. Okay, set that foot back down. Good. Lower your chest down. More bananas maybe. Then place your hands next to your side ribs. So hands right underneath the side ribs, right underneath your elbows. And then as you inhale, start to roll your chest forward and up. Good. And then come all the way up into your up dog. Stretch back to down dog. Walk your feet up to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen and make a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Reach down through your feet. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Raise your arms. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back 1 leg at a time into plank. Set knees down, shift forward and lower slow to elbow height, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your feet all the way up to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Press down through your feet. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart, Samastiti. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Allow as much bend in the knees as you need to let the spine lengthen. Inhale, flat back. Step back into plank, 1 leg at a time. Knees down or not, shift forward and lower slow, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Just hold there in down dog. Reconnect to your breath. Connect the hands evenly into the mat. Turn your triceps down towards the floor. And then start to lift your tailbone up and away from your wrist as you reach down into your hands. Bend your knees, look forward. Jump or step lightly up to the top. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. All right, now from down dog, bring your feet together and raise your right leg all the way up from your inner thigh. Try not to let your hips twist. So just like we practiced on hands and knees, keep both sides of the lower back long. And stretch through the front of the hip all the way through your big toe. Then shift into plank, pull your knee up to your chest and round out your back. Let's warm up that hip flexor a little bit. Inhale, reach back, three-legged dog. Exhale, pull it back up to your chest, shift forward. One more, inhale, reach back. Exhale, pull up and step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Come up onto your fingertips and prepare your back heel for warrior one. So in warrior one, your hips want to twist off to the right. Instead, reach your right sit bone straight back towards the wall behind you. Start to reach your heart forward. And then lift your belly and come up, raise your arms up. Then bring your hands back to your hips for a moment. And let's just take a moment to feel here. So in this position, it's subtle to feel it, but you have your leg back behind you, like we've been practicing on the hands and knee thing, etc. So the back might want to get short on that side. Instead, grow your lower back tall on that side, like you're being lifted up through all four sides of your ribs. Then see if you can start to bend a little deeper into your right leg without losing any of that length. The deeper you go, the more your back's going to want to shrink on that back leg side. Don't let it. Then take your arms forward and raise your arms all the way up. Good. Breathe that leg long, but also breathe your lumbar tall. And that's going to help to make sure that you're moving from your center. So just like we learned at the beginning of the challenge, how our core can help us in all the poses. We're training our core to get strong as we move in all these poses. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Step back to plank. Now let's just do a little chaturanga push-up. It's optional. Hold in plank or lower slowly to elbow height and lift straight back up to plank. Good. Downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up from the inner thigh. Stay even on your hands. Keep spreading across the back of the neck. And lengthen through the front of that hip all the way through your big toe. Exhale, shift into plank, pull your knee up. Inhale, reach back to three-legged dog. Exhale, shift into plank, pull that knee up. Inhale, reach back to three-legged dog. One more time, exhale, pull up. Pull up higher. Step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Then set up your back heel. Draw that left sit bone back. Reach your heart forward. And then come up strong through the midline. Bring your hands to your hips for a moment. Just because we did it on the other side, I'll just take a moment to feel. Two sides are different. So just notice what it feels like on this side. As we practice, we're developing enhanced awareness of the inner landscape, what's happening in the body. That's a major part of the practice. Then take your arms forward and raise your arms up as you keep growing your lumbar tall. All four sides of the rib cage lift. See if you can drop a little bit deeper maybe into your left leg without sinking the back ribs. Good. Hands back down to the mat. Step back to plank. Hold there in plank or lower slowly, optional chaturanga, and come right back up. Good. Downward dog. Then look between your hands, step or hop up to the top, and come right to chair pose. Sit your hips back, raise your arms. Hold in there here in this chair for 5 breaths. Okay, now in five breaths in yoga with me, sometimes it's like, in biblical terms, 40 days and 40 nights. It could mean like 3 years or something. It's not a real amount of time. That's how 5 breaths is when you do yoga with Tim. So as you hold here, lift your inner ankles and then start to sit your hips back a little deeper without those ankles sinking. Good, keep those inner ankles up. Now drop your hips back just a little deeper. Feel that burn in your legs. Oh my gosh. Can you keep those arms up still? Why are the arms so heavy all of a sudden? Geez, maybe it's because of the extra jewelry that you're wearing today. Maybe. Okay, come up to stand. Release your arms at your side. Okay, good. Now turn to your right and separate your feet wide apart. Spread your arms out. Turn your legs to the right for warrior two. Left foot turns in a little, right leg turns all the way out. Bend your right knee. Go forearm to thigh and go left arm all the way over your ear. Extended side angle. The tricep rolls down on your left arm, your extended arm, and grow longer. It's called side angle because there's a long line from your back heel to your fingertips. Try to find that line. Inhale, come back up. Turn your legs to the other side. Bend that left knee, warrior two for a moment. Then go forearm to thigh, arm overhead. Good, so your left leg turns all the way out. The knee points straight ahead. Don't let it twist in. Then turn your tricep. Feel space across your neck. Reach through your heel on your back leg. Breathe. Inhale, come back up. Good. Then circle your hands to the mat. Vinyasa. Or just step right back to down dog. Vinyasa means do chaturanga, then up dog, then down dog. So if you're working on upper body strength, you can do that. Or you can just go right back to down dog. Then step your right foot up for warrior one again. Inhale, raise your arms up. So we're going to start to link poses. This is more advanced because it can be more fatiguing on your spinal muscles and your core muscles. So we generally start to link poses when the body is ready. If you feel like parts of your body start to fatigue, then you can skip some of the poses, take a break, and come back. So from warrior one, put your hands on your hips, then straighten your right leg and step your back foot a little closer. Parsvottanasana. Start to tip forward and then set your fingertips onto the blocks. So we practiced this a couple days ago, and we were working on elongating the spine. You can even bend the front knee if you need to, or you can come up higher onto like a chair or even a stool, whatever you have to get a nice long spine, flat back. Okay, now from here, we're going to transition into warrior three preparations, what we worked up to, the back leg spine education. So now take those blocks, a foot in front of your foot as you spin your back heel up. And then lean into warrior three. Lean up to balance. So raise that back leg, and then right away set your pelvis into neutral, like I could put a block onto your lower back. Lengthen from the front of your hip to your big toe on your back leg. Lift that back leg up to hip height. Then lift up your belly and reach your chest forward. Come up on your fingertips now. Get light on those fingertips. Get so light that you feel like you could lift your hands up. So now your core is supporting you. The right outer hip engages. Now see if you can take one arm back without rounding over. Keep all that length and hold. Hold, you got it for the last 5, 4. Maybe you can take the other arm back too. 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee. Step back to warrior one. Ooh, all right, good job. Take your arms up. Bring your hands back to the mat. Nice job. Step back to down dog or add a vinyasa, your call. Step your left foot up, warrior one. Inhale, come up. Hold here for a few breaths. Feel that as we do the poses multiple times, you start to feel more opening. Then bring your hands to your hips, straighten your left leg, step the back foot a little bit closer, 3 to 3.5 feet apart depending on the length of your legs. Tip from your pelvis and start to fold forward out over your leg. Put the hands on the blocks, right underneath your shoulders. Bend the front knee as much as you need to so that you can get the spine to lengthen out. Pars Uttanasana preparation. Breathe the legs longer. Visualize your legs starting from up here in your lower back and grow from the hips down through the feet. Connect the feet evenly into your mat. Now, start to prepare to go into Warrior 3. Slide the blocks, spin the back heel up, blocks a foot in front of the foot now, and then start to lean up to balance on your left leg. Keep the pelvis even by reaching your sit bones straight back. Good, lift that back leg up to hip height without your lumbar sinking. Keep your belly lifted, pull your spine longer. Like if you remember Restorative Day when there was the corny Braveheart reference. So just like that, get longer, pin that left hip in, squeeze it back, reach back through your back heel, and then maybe raise one arm, but keep getting longer, freedom in the spine. Maybe both arms back for the last 3, 2, feel that outer hip. 1, bend your knee and slide back. I don't know why I have to talk like this when it gets hard, but it's important. Raise the arms up and bring the arms back down. Good job. Step back to down dog or take a vinyasa. Great job, guys. Okay, we're gonna do one more standing pose today because we're building up more strength. So I'm starting to add more for you. Step your right foot for crescent. Crescent is like Warrior 1 except your back heel stays up. Bring hands to prayer. Lean chest out over knee and twist. Take your left elbow to your knee. So as you hold in this pose, you're looking for that similar length that you had in Warrior 3. The back thigh stays lifted. You're reaching out, straight out through the midline, like I drew a line down the middle of your mat, and you're trying to lengthen your tail and your crown straight out through that line. Bring hands to the mat. Lower your back knee down, and then reach your chest forward and up here. Let the hips start to drop towards your heel. Good. Take 3 more breaths in this position, or see if you can bring your left heel towards your buttock and maybe reach back with your hand for your foot. You're more on the top of the knee, so you're not on the kneecap in this position, just above the knee. And if it doesn't feel right on your knee or it's straining your back, it's too much. You don't need the stretch. Just stay there with your hands down. Good. Release your foot. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step back to down dog or out of vinyasa, your call. Step your left foot, crescent, inhale, come up. Bring hands to prayer. Lean your chest out over your knee and twist, take your elbow to your knee. Elongate straight out through the midline. Good. Breathe through your nose. Bring hands to mat. Lower back knee down. Hold there. Open up your chest. Let your hips drop towards your heel. So if you're feeling a decent stretch there, like 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, just stay. If you need to intensify the stretch, go ahead, bend the knee, reach back with your hand for your foot or your ankle. A few more breaths. All right, then stretch back to down dog. Set your knees down onto the mat. Set your elbows down too and interlock your hands. Shirshasana preparation, down dog on your forearms. Rotate your inner armpits forward, space across the back of your neck. Curl your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips up. Press down even into your forearms from your elbow to your wrist. Keep rolling the armpits forward and move the shoulder blades out of your ears as you lift that tailbone sky high. Three more breaths here, stay with it. Walk into plank on your forearms. 1 foot at a time, step back. Good, hold there and plank on your forearms. Press those forearms down again. Squeeze in and down at the back of your armpit. Spread your collarbones and reach your sternum forward. Good, then set your knees down, stretch back to child's pose, just like we started. Just let your head rest now. Great job, way to stay with it. All right, now come onto your back. Bring the heels close to the buttock with your feet hip distance apart. Press your heels down, lift your hips up for bridge. Grab a hold of the sides of your sticky mat, your forefingers under, your thumbs on top, and roll up onto the tops of your shoulders. Good. At the same time, imagine you had a block in between your thighs, so you don't let your thighs turn out as you push up. They're gonna wanna do that. Instead, keep your knees pointing dead ahead, grip the backs of your legs, your hamstrings, and engage your buttocks. Squeeze the top of the buttock and the bottom of the buttock into each other. At the same time, let the groins release. Turn those shoulders, open your chest, and lower your hips back down. Good job. Then cross your right knee over your left knee. Open your right elbow out to the side like a cactus arm. Shift your hips over to the right a little and let your legs fall over to the left. Feel more space here from your right hip to your shoulder. Breathe the tailbone long out of your lower back. Bring your knees and hips back to center. Change the cross of your legs. Take your hips over to the left a little and let your knees fall over to the right. Open that left arm out to the side. Then bring your knees and your hips back to center. Uncross your legs, hug your knees in. Let your lower back spread and release. And then take happy baby. Final pose here. Feel how nice it feels in happy baby for the sacrum to spread, for the hips to release. All right, and then release your legs and set yourself up for corpse pose, Shavasana. Stretch your legs out. Take your feet a little bit wider than hip distance, and as you turn your palms up at your side, take your hands about at least a foot away from your body so it feels like your armpits could open. Then close your eyes and go inward. So now no more effort. Just let the body drop. And without controlling the breath, just practice watching your breath, the rhythm of your breath, the natural rhythm. Let the natural rhythm of the breath, the focus on it, start to soothe and quiet the mind.